Hello Fly Nation and welcome to the Freestyle Your Life podcast, the one and only podcast inspiring you to live your authentic greatness while teaching you that less is more. I'm your host, Aneste Kaller-Zimmermann, and I'm on my mission to help you to be the hero you were meant to be and to live what you came for in life and in business. Remember, the quest we came here for is to discover our true nature, explore our potential and share it by living. So, my dear listeners, today I have Jeanna Gabellini with me, and she's my own coach, and I really appreciate her for being here on a Friday evening. And she's just authentically living her life and changed her life and turned her life around like I did. And that's why we are so in sync. That's what the last speaker said, Alicia. She said, we are just in sync. That's what we are too. So she is a master business coach, and she's running the Masterpiece Coaching. I totally love this name because this fits in here perfectly, right? So make your life a masterpiece. That's what we are aiming for here, right? So after 20 years of liberating business owners from the curse of not being enough, which so many people suffer from, right? And the myth of hard work paying off. You know, and I, by the way, myself, I know too, and I'm sure many of the listeners here, we know without a question from our experience that we can make money and big impacts and impact millions here and inspire the folks out there by just being authentically ourselves, right? And doing the things we love and we are good at by stepping in our greatness and not trying to do everything that's new hype out there and struggling hard. As we did this before, right? That's why we know what we're talking about. We went through exactly that thing, and I suffered cancer 4 times being a single mom and 2 businesses and everything. So I know what I'm talking about, and you too. So we both realized that struggling and working hard and running in the hamster wheel is not the solution. And you will share with us just now what you found out, Jenna. And we discovered that once we are willing to flip the switch in our thinking, right? So this is not the right way to run more and more and more, but to work smarter instead of harder and chuck the old school rules in the toilet. I love this phrase. And stay tuned to what lights us up, what inspires us, what motivates us. This turns us on to be really authentic and to step in our greatness and happiness, which is already in us, right? We just need to eliminate and skip all the rest that sucks, and then we are perfectly on our way. So you created the Masterpiece Coaching, and this is a great program. I know it myself, but please share with us what it is about, because you're the chief here.
I am the chief. Well, I'm super.
You're the chief.
I mainly what I do, at least on the front end of what it looks like I do, is I help entrepreneurs attract more clients. But what we really do underneath the hood, yes, I can tell you all sorts of strategies and that will make you lots of money, but really the trick is to find what lights you up and do the inner game part of client attraction, which involves making sure you're aligned with what you're doing, aligned with marketing that you love so it doesn't feel like marketing, making sure it feels like you're working with the right and perfect clients for you. So they're not a drag, you're excited to talk to them.
Yes.
And also making sure that your relationship with money is good, because if your relationship with money sucks, then it's going to be really hard to attract clients. Period. The end.
Yes.
So That's what I do. And I love what I do. I started doing it 23 years ago. I thought it was the best thing ever. I was like, I am going to do this for the rest of my life. And I still am. And I still think it's the most awesome thing ever.
Yeah, and Jenna, that totally shows, because you're just authentic, going there and doing what you love. And this, by the way, benefits yourself and the clients, right? And this is what we aim for. And I always say, this really shows, right? This is the people can feel that if we are connected, if we love what we do, right? We both love to be here with the listeners and inspire them, or if we just show up like probably in a 9-to-5 job. That's a complete different scenery. So how do you approach that, Jenna, please?
Which part?
All.
Like when I work with clients?
Right.
I think it's about, we all have inner guidance. We know this. Some of us call it intuition. I call it, for business, I call it your inner business expert. I believe that we always are getting nudges, always, every single day, like, hey, you, I really think this is what would feel good today. Or like, ooh, let's do this. It's like your playmate in business that you can't see. It's like right here by you all the time. But a lot of us are like, what? I can't see you. I can't hear you. What you're saying is crazy. I'm not going to listen. And so we're in our heads all the time, making all these insane decisions that do not feel good. Or we feel like, oh, this is the only way for me to make money, and I got to hustle, and I should do everything that the experts told me to do. And if I don't, I'm not going to make any money. You just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. But our inner guidance is always talking to us. And our inner business expert knows what's in the highest and best interest of our business and for us. And the advice or nudges or the creativity that pours through you, or the new ideas for new things you want to offer, or new ways of offering old things that you offer, those are coming through all the time. And if we just follow those, we're always going to attract the right and perfect clients, and it's always going to feel good. And how we know that we're not leading somewhere good in our business, and we're definitely not going to make any money, is when we are pushing, even if it feels that way in our head, like it's, oh my gosh, I hope this works. Man, maybe I should say something different to get the client. And we're just overthinking, we're worrying, we're hoping, we're praying, and we're not confident in the very things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Right. And that's exactly, thanks for pointing it out just in 1 or 2 sentences. And that's exactly what I was talking with Alicia Curry on the episode just before, on episode number 45, because she is the specialist on the confidence. She struggled with that topic and have so many fears and self-doubt and worrying everything. And then once she found out this is bloody bullshit, this doesn't lead to any further, but just to staying stuck, she too transformed everything, and she's just prospering now. So with self-doubt and the worrying ego mind, right, and the fearful ego mind that wants to keep us safe, but safe is not good, right? In this, there's no predictor behind us. So this is still, it's still functioning like in former times, right? But that's not the situation we're in nowadays. And what I found out, and you too, and just Alicia, which I just mentioned from the last episode, is that all the worrying and fearful stuff keeps us running, of course, right? That's not the mind freak. They keep us telling you have to and do wah, wah, wah. And the sort of worrying is leading, of course, to anxiety and burnout and every sort of that, but also could lead to severe diseases like I had, right? Like cancer and everything. Because if you worry, up from surgery or examination you have on your health the other day, that doesn't lead to anything, right? So you'd rather have a drink or do something you love and go there with ease, right? And there are better chances you will be lucky there than if you worry up front, because that just doesn't help, never helps, right?
It's like feel the emotion. We're all gonna have. I have had anxiety like for the last 2 weeks, like a low grade, kind of in the back of my mind. And sometimes it'll be like, "Hey, I'm here," and other times it's like, "Yeah, I'm back here. You know I'm here." And I kept doing all my tricks and tools to go like, "Come on, man, like get off me. I just want to feel at peace. I just want to feel good." But the thing is I was creating anxiety about the anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, okay, so I'm feeling anxiety. I'm doing some really, really massive things in my business right now.
Yeah.
I spent tens of thousands of dollars all in a matter of 2 weeks that I did not have in the bank because of all these other things I just invested in. But I knew in the moment when I invested in them, it felt right and true. And then I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to pull this off? When my American Express bill comes in with all those things I just like invested in, am I going to be able to pull this off? And I just kept having that same thought. Can I pull it off? Can I pull it off? And I'm like, well, why don't I feel calm? I should feel calm. And then it was just exasperating it and making it bigger and bigger and bigger. And I have these new things on my plate, these projects I'm doing with the deadline, where I was feeling the same thing. I knew when I chose to do these with the deadlines, I'm like, I know I can pull this off. And then I felt maybe a tinge of stress from my team. I could have been making it up, but that just compounded everything until yesterday I was working with my inner game coach and we were like, Jeanna, you always choose to upgrade and do these things that seem impossible and you haven't worried before. Or if you did, you just go like, yeah, I'm crazy and whatever, have fun with it. But sometimes when we make a decision, then we make ourselves wrong for making the decision.
Yeah.
It totally disconnects us from the power. And that's when we get an anxiety. So I was making myself wrong about feeling anxious. It's like, so what if I feel anxious? I put myself on the edge. It's a little bit of a stretch. So I'm having a little doubtful moment. Big freaking deal. Like, let that be okay. There's going to be all of that. Like we're doing some new things. We're creating these email sequences that are confusing, even though I'm the one that created it. There's all these technical pieces and everybody's confused and I'm confused. And I'm like, I shouldn't be confused. I'm the one that created it. It's like, no, it's just complicated. You can't keep it all in your head. It's okay if you're confused. We're all going to be confused when we're doing something new. When I learned marketing, I was so confused. I'm like, I must be a marketing dunce. I don't understand it. When I implement what people tell me to do, it's not working. I must be stupid with marketing. And so therefore I kept creating circumstances where my marketing wouldn't work because I'm going into it with the whole mindset, making decisions based on the fact that I think I'm dumb around marketing. And it wasn't until I was like, yeah, I am dumb with marketing. I actually don't know it. So let me just sit down and learn it, even if it takes me 5 years. Let me just like learn it and grasp it and struggle with it and figure it out. And then I was like, oh, I just needed to give myself the space to like wrestle with it a little bit. And now it's like, oh my God, I love marketing. Marketing's so fun. It's all about relationship. In fact, today, once I get off the phone with you, I'm going to write an email sequence of marketing. I'm like, I can't wait to write my email marketing
I
sequence.
totally love you. Yeah, but the bottom line is that happens to us every now and then still, right? That's a normal process. That's the ego mind kicking in, trying to talk us out of the thing and the decisions and the action we already committed to, right? Because it thinks it's not safe and it will prove us right?
Exactly.
That's a problem in that, and that's ourselves doing that, and that's nothing but self-sabotage, right? That's what
Indeed.
I'm shouting out here. The most hurdles and obstacles and everything we get is not coming from the outside or anybody else. It's us. And
It's us
that's what,
judging ourselves. It's us judging our
right?
thoughts. It's us judging our actions. It's like
Right.
we want to have a range of emotions. Like my most irritated, like screaming the F word because I'm so pissed off about something that happened in my business are the moments where I let myself experience the frustration.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, so what? And now what? Like, had the emotion, feel it fully, get pissy about it. It's okay. And then know on the other side, something really awesome is going to happen because it's going to elevate you into creating new solutions and things that were probably better than what you had before.
Right, and that's why these things show up, and what is the most important in such a moment is to really accept what is, right? So we both are very emotional, and and this even occurs to emotional and empathic people much more than logical people. I'm far away from that. I can deal with everybody of this kind of manner, but I'm totally different, and I trained hard to manage my thoughts and my emotions and to have them really have control over them, right? And if they kick in and fear kicks in, I just accept it. I go out of the situation, right? So I meditate a lot. I am listening to my mentor, Darren Hardy, each morning with his the Darren Daily show. So this is a sort of a 10-minute talk or a question he answered or whatever. But it's totally interesting. This man he's a genius for me. 25 years in media business. He's such a great speaker, and he's such an inspiration, right? So we all need somebody to get inspired, right? And if this emotion is still there and I can't grasp it, I cannot turn it around, I take my dog, I take my golf racket, and zoom, I'm gone. Right? So I hit the balls and everything goes out of my body, my thought, my whatever, right? And playing golf 2 hours and I come back here, I'm relaxed, everything good, right? So it doesn't help to stay in the moment then when we just cannot control the situation, even if we have an discussion with the partner or with a business partner or with a client. It doesn't make sense to stick in the confrontation, right? So take yourself out of it, keep a cool head, and well, the other one has his point or her point of view, and everything is okay, right? We don't have the same, we don't need to be the same. We are not cloned, right? So everybody can have his opinion and things. And well, if we don't come together and don't find a bottom line, then it's time to separate. That's all. Not a big deal, right? We just have to accept that that staying stuck and in a situation we have no control, and of course we don't have control over the partner, for example, or over a client, right? If he wants to turn the program back and doesn't like the program, of course we don't like it, right? But it's his decision, and rather better to deal with it and find a solution than stay stuck in the situation. That's the worst thing we can do.
Yeah, one of my slogans has been, it was in my relationship, and now as of yesterday, I'm like, that's just going to be my slogan for all of life, is it's okay if it gets messy. Because I'm so resistant to things getting messy, like hard. And I just want to go into the good feeling all the time.
Yeah.
And I can get there quick, but getting there quick doesn't mean that I still don't have the stuff running in my head somewhere way back there. But don't worry, if you don't handle it right, it's going to come back and sneak in and take over like an alien in your body. So for me now, my big thing is it's okay if it's messy. Like, it's okay if it gets a little crazy. Let it. Don't try to fight it. Just be in the messiness and go, yeah, this is messy right now.
Yeah.
This is not looking so pretty, and that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. And we, what I learned, Jeanna, is we need to accept it. Otherwise, the same problem or situation comes in a different, wrapped in a different paper, right? With a different partner or client or whatever. If we don't go to the bottom line and solve it and accept it and are ready to feel the feeling when it's negative, of course we don't like it, but we have to go through the motion and to finally get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the solution. It's easier said than done, of course. We struggle our way through that also. There's no doubt about it, but it gets easier with every step we take. That's for sure, right? And so I had to laugh when you say, yeah, you're so bubbling. Right? Because I'm doing pretty much things here right now, and the Fly Summit is about, the website is about to come out next week, and this thing is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And so many speakers hop on in the last minute, and yeah, it's difficult because if I like most of them, I know personally, so either most of them are my own trainers or colleagues that I know from personally or a long time. So I don't want to tell them, no, you cannot be on it. But right now it's exploding, and I have to set a cut because we need to make the deadline and have the site coming up. And my technical assistant, he's like, ooh, it's getting more and more. I say, yeah, but the speakers are so great. So yeah, and the podcast is still running, and the book is on the other side, and it's quite a lot at the moment, and I'm all over the place here, and yeah, I have to calm down a little bit to keep a cool head, and but I really want to have it magnificent, right? So this is sometimes it takes hold of us too, right? So I just accept it because it's just like that, how it is. It could be worse if nobody would show up to be a speaker on my show or on my summit. That would be worse, right?
Yeah, it's a good problem to have too many speakers saying yes to you.
So have so many interviews to do right now. I thought I would be ready with most of them. No, that shows I'm not, because new people coming in now, and it's just like that. I just need to accept it and stay cool with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to turn out. That's what I keep reminding myself in the moment of messiness, where it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, you know what? It's going to work out one way or another. And even if things go totally sideways, it's still going to work out anyway in the end. I remember I had there's been 2 years. I used to launch all these products and programs to like no fanfare, just a trickle of people. And then I started doing bigger launches where hundreds of people would say yes to a program. And then I remember we kept growing and growing and growing. Each year it got bigger. And then one year it didn't. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I'm going to go broke this year. I don't even, for the first time in about almost 20 years, I doubted that I should be in this business. I made up all sorts of stories about this launch. It was still, a multiple six-figure launch. But I made up this huge story that because it went backwards in the number of people signing up, that it would just be a horrible year for me. And I remember calling my coach at the time and I said, oh, we need to talk. He's like, no, you need to be with your kids right now. We're going to talk tomorrow. You need to calm down. I'm like, no, oh my God. And then the next day after we talked, I was like, okay, I need to surrender. Like, I am making a big, hairy deal out of this. And it was like, it really, the money was only a part of it. There was what I felt that people, my peers who were promoting this thing, their judgment of me and like, oh my gosh, look at her. Her thing went backwards. What if they don't promote me again? Then I'm never going to have a big launch. I mean, just all this stuff.
By the way, you're the queen of launches. Come on, please.
Thank you. And then what I realized at the end of the year, all my JV partners still love me. They don't love me because they make money promoting me, although that's great. They love me just because they loved me, because we have a connection. And at the end of the year, I don't even remember, like 10 or 20 grand shorter than the year before. Like, I thought I was just going to go broke. I was going to go in debt. I made up all these stories right in the moment of failure. But what I realized, as soon as you relax, as soon as you get over the like, it's not working out, then the things start all coming together and you realize like, oh, I can still get the end result. It just may not look the way I thought, but I still get to be there. But it can't all come together for you until you have that moment of surrender, until you go, yeah, that sucked. And again, so what? Now what?
Yeah, but that's because the fear and the self-doubt kicks in, right? And then the negative limiting self-talk kicks in. And that's, of course, affecting the emotion. And then, despite being such a pro on the scenery, you don't need to worry on that field. That's what I consider. But we still have the self-doubt and, oh my gosh, how will this turn out, right? Because this is the self-talk and the self-sabotaging circle there. And others often even don't realize it's our ego-based thinking that we assume things not to be like we dreamed of, like we expected them. And between broke and 10,000 minus, let's name it like that, that is huge, the difference, right? Yeah, you're still doing so great.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. Nothing's actually a big deal, although, man, do we make it a big, hairy deal in the moment. Wow. I can do it with the best of them.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is the recovery time gets quicker and quicker. Like, instead of like weeks or months, it's a day or hours, or sometimes just like, man, that sucks. And all right, well, there's nothing we can do about it. So let's just move on. You know,
take your kids and go for a boat ride.
Exactly. Get out of the environment that you're in, because environment has energy, it has vibration, frequency. And it's so, oh my gosh, to just walk out of a room, to have different scenery. You will step into like, okay, a little bit more openness. Okay. There's a whole big world out there that's outside of this little tiny head of mine.
And that really helps to change the environment, or for me, it's doing sports and exercise. And then if I want to focus on where to hit the ball, I cannot be thinking these limiting thoughts at the same time, right? So I focus on there, and I'm off the other scenery. And this goes easier if we step out of the environment. That's really easier to do than keep sitting in there and, oh my gosh, and then that's going on and on and on, right? Or meditate, or well, dear listeners, you have to find out what it is for you that helps to calm down and relax. And that's just a suggestion. So suggestions we are doing. I'm too quick. We are giving here, like meditating or doing sports or whatever it is. Go on a boat tour, take your dog, have a nice evening with a partner, whatever it might be for you, right? Where we have to find that out, but step out of the situation and relax and keep a cool head, calm down, and approach the thing the next day.
And be willing to take a stand for yourself, no matter what. Like if you have appointments or you have something, you know, something else going where you're like, actually what's in my best interest is not to keep that appointment and to go do the thing I need to do. I was just talking to someone I was promoting, and they had something go wrong in their business. And I was supposed to do a Facebook Live with them. And they're like, you know what? I'm taking the day off to just hug a pillow, and I don't want to be on camera. Can we do this another time? And I'm like, man, I so honor that you're honoring what you need. I'm happy to do it another time. And I think sometimes we feel like we won't give ourselves that break. You know,
Right.
like being able to take care of ourselves in that moment to get away, to recalibrate, realign, and then we decide when we get to come back out in public or talk to our mate or whoever.
Right. And that's what I love so much about you, Jeanna. And that's exactly how authentic people behave, right? So you don't know if I'm feeling good or not, right? But if I share authentically that and that and that happened, and I'm so sorry I cannot make it. It just doesn't feel good for me. Let's do it in 2 or 3 days. I need to recover and step out of that. That is totally okay, right? That is just honest sharing of the feelings you have, right? And that's what leads to greatness and evolving even further, right? Than to do this, stick to the duties and stick to the schedule. And that's what I tried to do this for years, and it sucks so much, right? And I kept running faster and faster and faster, and well, we know where it it led me. I already saw the other side. So, but I'm sort of still, have the manner of a workaholic, right? I love what I do here, and I could set up the whole summit tonight, right? And the night after, right? So I do this in a row, a couple of weeks, and I'm dead again, right? There's no more power, no more inspiration, and nothing. And that's the wrong way. And I did learn my lesson on my heroic life journey, and that's what I preach here. But I still sometimes fall into this trap, right? But I have my dog barking then. Come on, let's get out of here. So I have to. But that's self-care is essential. It really is, right? So that's a good advice we can give here for our listeners. So what else do we need to change to share?
What do we need to share? It's all going to work out, everybody.
Yes.
And the thing is, as soon as you get back into, you know what, it is all going to work out. So I'm calling the shots. I am the boss of my life. I'm the boss of my business. What do I want to have happen? And I think I call it commanding and demanding. Like, okay, here, game on. I need some more money. We're going to make some more money. I don't know how, but we're going to make some more money. I don't even need to figure it out, because if there's something I'm supposed to do to make money, I will feel called to go do the thing. And it may not even be really, sometimes it may seem that the action is not even connected to making money, but you feel called to do it. So that's why I say back to your inner guidance, which is following the nudges, because sometimes it's going to tell you and nudge you into the craziest things that do not make sense in the moment. That it will look like your priorities are messed up. It will look like, I've been following inner guidance for years, but I keep cranking it up a little bit more. And in the last month, it's been cranked pretty high. And I think that's why I felt that anxiety. it's such a high level of trust that I'm not totally used to. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling guided to say yes to this, this, and this. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. This is big. But I don't need to make it a big hairy deal. That I've just been making it a
Right.
big hairy deal.
Right.
So it's a practice. It's a practice to follow your inner guidance. It's extreme practice in trust.
Mm-hmm.
But the only times my life has ever gone sideways, it's gotten messy, it's gotten bad, is when I don't follow my guidance. So
Yeah.
follow it
Yeah.
blindly. You can trust yourself.
Yeah. Totally right. And of course, it's our inner child in there crying, right? If we keep on working here till falling over from the chair, the inner child says, no, I want to play, I want to go out, I want some ice cream, whatever, right? But I have enough of this office table, let's get out of here, right? So we have so many inner games playing at once, and if we resist that, we don't accept what's going on there, and this is just a sign to take a break, in fact, right?
Yep,
Then,
everything's inner game. Everything is inner game. It's
right,
fueling all the results in our life. It's it's the key to everything. And so it's a constant checking in. How am I
yeah,
feeling right now? Oh, look at me. I'm pushing to get this thing done. Why? Well, I'm a little scared, I guess, that if I don't get this done, I'm not going to get what I want. Well, is that really true? I won't get what I want. No, it's not true. How could we know? We can't figure out all the different pathways that things can come to us or the results come. We can't even figure that out. The universe is too vast. There's too many miracles happening
yeah,
all the time, right?
yeah, yeah,
Behind the scenes, we have no idea. So it's like,
yeah,
kick back. Don't try to control everything. We've
yeah,
got bunch of like little minions that we can't even see, right? All this energy of things like circumstances and resources and people coming together to help us get what we want. And we think it's all us. Oh, wait, if it's to be, it's up to me and I have to do it all. No, that's bull crap. You don't have to do it all. You just have to do your pieces.
It is so funny. Yeah, but it's exactly like that. And of course, we have so many parts inside of us. We always think it's us, and we are who we are. Most of the people are not who they are meant to be. That's what we're talking about here, to become authentic. But we have the feminine part and the masculine part, which was to work here, and the inner child. I have a very strong inner child, and she wants to play. She didn't have an opportunity to play in her childhood, so I know where it comes from because I worked over all these things, and if I don't consider that, she just stopped me, right? And so we have the inner part that we that we need to calm down and not to confront, right? Because they will stop us from doing whatever we think we need to do, and we even don't notice because most of the time we are not aware, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to share with you, my dear Fly Nation. I think we covered pretty much, talking quick tonight.
We have covered all that you need to know about life today in this session. We are complete. We are done. You can go live your lives in bliss. No, it won't be bliss, and that's the whole point. It's okay if it's not.
Yes. So should we wrap it up here?
Let's wrap it up and put a bow on it, baby.
Yeah, okay. So this is a Friday night we are talking here, and for me it's already 8. You're in the middle of the day, so you're gonna take the rest maybe off. And all my listeners, have a wonderful weekend. And yes, that was a little bit laughing and funny today, but we both like to laugh, and hopefully you got some of the golden nuggets and can follow through and can implement them in your life rather than resisting whatever it is and trying to force things which are just not possible in the moment. That was fantastic, Jeanna. I give you a big, big hug. Thanks so much for.
You're so welcome, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yes, yeah, I will work on the summit tomorrow. I will go on there, but yeah, my dog's sitting there and watching me, and she says it's dark. We should leave the office. And she's right. She's right.
Okay, well, thank you.
So everybody have a lovely time, and thanks for listening, and thanks so much for being here. Have fun with your kids. Bye-bye. Big hug.
Bye.
Bye. Love you all. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening in. I hope you got new inspiration to seek help and surrender to love no matter what situation you're in. Hopefully you could take away that transformation is possible. By getting the right support, you can embrace life joyfully and enjoy your life on your own authentic terms. Please rate and review the Freestyle Your Life podcast on freestyle-your-life.com/podcast if you like today's talk, and make sure you qualify for the amazing I Love to Fly podcast giveaway by subscribing and referring 3 friends to the Freestyle Your Life podcast. All experts and myself are happy to assist and support you. Just reach out to us. Thanks for joining us today, and don't forget to tune in next Thursday and listen in to your next inspiration on how to freestyle your life. You'll learn another priceless shortcut on how to break free and restyle your life on your own authentic terms. Becoming authentically you will ease your life and business. Remember, Fly Nation, break free and fly. Looking forward to talk to you next Thursday. Bye.